So let's have breakfast with an astronaut, shall we? Because it is 9:45. Still having my coffee here. Good to see you, Leroy. Thanks for coming back.
Oh, my pleasure. Great to be back.
So these images out of NASA, I mean, it's just so extraordinary. Our team was watching it unfold this morning, watching Houston get ready, all the prep work underway, and we're seeing, obviously, you know, they're prepped for this. They trained for this kind of operation, right? These kind of repairs?
Absolutely. Every crew is trained to do EVA and to do maintenance work and remove and replace things. Technically, this is one of the more difficult tasks to remove and replace this wrist joint. Of course, any system, any machine is going to break, and over the 25 years that the space station has been in operation, of course, you expect things like this to break, and this joint finally broke. The planning was excellent. There was a spare on board. They've trained for the task. And this is an important piece of equipment. It was critical during assembly to move the big modules around where they needed to go, but still very important for removal and replacement of big pieces of the station. You're going to need that arm, so we need to get it working again.
I understand that the arm also, it was an interface arm, so it was starting to impede the work that they were doing at the ISS. That's why it was, for lack of better words, it was wonky. For a couple of times they had trouble with it. It seemed to be breaking down, but it was critical that they do this now.
Yes, and so they're anticipating, of course, needing the arm in the future EVAs and other operations. And so this is the right time to go in and replace this joint. As you said, it had been failing, had been glitching, and so this was, you know, a good time to go out and do this. I mean, think about the arm. It's like your own arm. You've got a shoulder joint, an elbow joint, and a wrist joint, and that wrist joint is especially critical because it articulates in all directions. And without that, you know, you're very limited in what you can do.
So, and I heard Kenzie reporting, she talked with a NASA official this morning. They're tethered, of course, to the ISS, but my heart, I still have these palpitations. I watch them, you know, floating around in space here. Obviously, all the safety measures and precautions are in place, the backdrop of Earth, but they really are dealing with a very large piece of equipment. This cannot be easy, in spacesuits and everything else.
No, it's not easy at all. It's not at all like the movies. It's very physical. You have to be in good physical shape. 6.5, 7 hours, that's a long time to be out there working that hard. You know, I was fortunate enough to do 6 spacewalks myself, 4 in American suits, 2 in Russian suits. And it's very difficult work, especially on something like this where you're moving around massive objects and getting them aligned precisely. But they're up for it. They've been well trained for it, and I'm sure it'll all go well. It's kind of interesting. This is EVA 95 aboard the ISS. When I was there, we went out and did EVAs number 12 and 13.
Yeah, and everybody in Houston is watching every single move. This is supposed to last, what, about 6 hours, to your point. What are the dangers here that we'd be kind of watching for throughout the day? Leroy, so far so good. It appears that everything's going as planned. What are we watching for today? What's the danger?
That's right. So the dangers are some kind of suit malfunction, or in the worst case, becoming somehow untethered and, you know, falling off of the station, right? Every EVA astronaut, whether he or she admits it or not, there's that little fear in there that, you know, you're going to make a mistake and somehow become untethered and float away from the station. Now, in that event, of course, the U.S. suits have an emergency jetpack with compressed nitrogen, and you can try to fly yourself back to the space station. It's kind of like, think of it as a parachute. The other things that can happen, your suit can malfunction, and that's why we go out in pairs, because if someone's suit has a big problem, the other person can help get that stricken person back inside the airlock. And that happened some years ago aboard ISS with Luca Parmitano, an Italian astronaut. His helmet started filling with water, and it became and the American Chris Cassidy was able to get him back in the airlock in time and do an expedited repressurization, get that helmet off his head before he kind of was, you know, losing his airway.
Whew. Wow. Yeah, inherent dangers, but everything, it seems to be operating as planned. Again, there's, you know, another 6 long hours we're going to be, you know, watching every single step of it. It's fascinating. We so appreciate you joining us. Leroy Chiao, walking us through this important spacewalk there at the ISS. Leroy, wonderful to have you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.